Okay, hey, we're live. Look at that. And all of a sudden, I'm live. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday morning, July, I believe 16th. Wow, it is just trucking along. So today, we are going to go over your LinkedIn profile. And I have some new material, some new slides to show you that we created for a live presentation we did earlier in the week. I think this will be kind of cool and fun. So that's what we're going to go and talk about and show you. I do want to introduce my co-host before I get into the actual material, Ronan Rahman. There you are.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, good.
How are you today, sir?
Cool and comfy. I haven't been outside yet, so I think what's it going to be like 100 and
something,
100 and hell.
Yeah, and I have 3 out of the home office meetings today. Right. So I am not necessarily looking forward to being in the heat.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm excited to see all this new stuff, and I'm excited for what people are about to learn about their LinkedIn profile.
Me too.
So I'm gonna bounce out and leave you to it.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so there's a whole lot of stuff that we can talk about regarding your LinkedIn profile. Today, we're going to really narrow it down to the 3 most important, most powerful components that when you dial these in, it'll make a big difference for your LinkedIn success. And so that's what we're going to talk about. We call it the 3-point power profile. And I've got a bunch of examples to show you from a recent presentation that we did at the Sterling Club here on Tuesday night. So I thought I'd pull that material into today's conversation. So I'm going to go and I'm going to share my screen. Oops, that's not it. There we go. So LinkedIn profile. So basically, we've got a number of examples, and I'm hoping that at least one of these examples resonates with you. So that you can go, yeah, I get it. I can incorporate this into what I'm doing. And so that's the point of this. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 separate examples that I'm going to show you. So here's example number 1. This is Dana Earhart. She is a client of ours, and I want to just highlight a few different things about her LinkedIn profile. Number 1 is her profile photo. That's PowerPoint number 1. And it's a professional photograph. She looks super approachable and professional. She's got a nice, clean, non-distracting background. She's got a great looking smile. It's a great photograph. And that's the thing you want to have on your LinkedIn profile. It's also very close up. It's well lit, obviously done by a pro. So that's what you're looking for in a photo. And I'm going to show you a number of different examples here. Number 2 is her cover image. That's that big rectangular image up at the top. She loves spending fun time with her 8-year-old son. Excuse me. And so there's an image here of a silhouetted, what looks like a mom and son. And it just really resonates with her personality. And then she's got just a few billboard style words that are kind of like her tagline in a way. And the point here is, if you're going to put wording, written copy, if you will, in your cover image, this is how you want to do it. You want to have just a few words that stand out. You don't want to have a lot of content in there. So that is what you're looking for in your cover image, which is profile PowerPoint number 2. The third part of the power profile is, of course, your headline. And you can see Dana's headline here below her name. It says, "Get your weekends and evenings back while building a wildly successful accounting, bookkeeping, CFO, or law firm." So I'm going to break this apart just a little bit. We did do this on Monday, but I want you to understand what's going on here. The first thing that's going on here is she's calling out the pain point that her ideal prospect, her ideal client has. And that is they're losing out on their weekends and evenings. And so she's basically saying, my promise to you is that by working with me, I can help you get those weekends and evenings back. That is very meaningful to her client, who are accounting, bookkeeping, CFO, and lawyers. So she's really done a great job here of calling out the pain point, solving a problem that these people have, calling out who she works with, and really giving them a reason to connect with her and enter into a conversation with her. So this is a really good headline. It's actually something that we worked with her for about a week on, and I'm really pleased at how this came out. All right, I'm going to show you the next profile here. This is for Shannon Graham, completely different market, totally different style, equally as effective. So again, he's got a great looking photograph with a non-distracting background, nice up close shot of his face. His look is very different than Dana's, right? He doesn't have a smile, right? He has a totally different type of brand, if you will. It works for him. His clients are the founders of fast-paced, very aggressively growing businesses. And one of his markets are venture capitalists. Another market are the CEOs of these fast-paced companies. And so we'll start with his headline, "Corner Man for CEOs." I love how that resonates, right? It's like you immediately are like, corner man for CEOs. That's powerful. I protect your investments by getting peak performance from your founders. So, excuse me. In this particular case, he's reaching out to venture capitalists who have invested or are thinking about investing many millions of dollars, 25, 50, $100 million into companies that are run by founders. And so he's basically saying, look, your pain or your worry or your concern is your investment. I protect it by getting peak performance out of the people you invest in. So again, really well written, very powerful message. You can also see in his cover image, again, just a few words: transformational coaching for visionary leaders. He also chose to use another image of himself and his logo. I love it. It's simple. It's clean. It works. This is what you're looking for. All right, next example. Excuse me. All right, my man Sergio. So Sergio, I've been working with for years. He actually runs all of our online marketing for us. I'm going to have some water. Hold on. Anyway, so if you're looking for someone to manage your Google ads, your Facebook ads, things like that, Sergio is a great resource for you. All right, so let's break apart his profile. Again, the photograph made by a pro, non-distracting background, nice close-up shot, well lit of his face. He's got kind of a small smile, right? He's a super low-key, pleasant, approachable guy. And I believe his photograph here represents him extremely well. And then for his cover image, he chose not to put any words in it. He just chose to show an image of him working with a client. And kind of giving you almost a behind-the-scenes experience, if you will, of what it might be, what it might look like to work with him. I really like what we chose here for him. Let's read his headline: "Real results for healthcare service providers using Google Ads without the usual nonsense you've experienced with others." Now, I don't know about you, but if you've ever hired somebody to run your Google advertising, you may have experienced some nonsense. It may not have been everything that it was cracked up to be. So he's really speaking to a pain point, a frustration that his ideal client likely has experienced. And if they haven't experienced, it at least begs the question, what is he talking about here? What usual nonsense are you talking about? So he calls out who he works with, healthcare service providers, what he does, Google advertising, real results, and he calls out a frustration or pain point that they may have experienced before. So really powerful headline. He's had some really interesting appointments, in part due to his profile. All right, next, my man Ronan, my business partner. So again, great looking professional profile photo, non-distracting background, well lit, obviously made by a pro. Ronan, again, is kind of a low-key, very approachable guy. So he's got that look about him. So very pleasant. His cover image, very simple. It just has our logo and someone writing with a fountain pen, very clean. It works. His headline, guaranteed appointments with IT decision makers at 25 million plus US-based companies so you can focus on IT solutions. Again, breaking that down, he calls out what he does, guaranteed appointments with whom, IT decision makers, and he gets specific at $25 million plus companies. That's important when you get that specific. And then third, he calls out a little bit of the pain point, right? So that you can worry about other things. You can focus on what you do, your craft, while I take care of this. I take care of your appointments. You don't have to worry about that. Very well done, very well written. And then finally, I'm going to show you my LinkedIn profile. Again, professional photograph. You can see my my big smile, right? I have a totally, well, not totally, but I have a very different personality than others. So I'm a, what they call on the disc profile, I'm a high I. Okay, that means I am very extroverted. I am very verbose and things like that. So my image represents that. Okay, it's approachable, but it's also definitely a little different than what you may have seen in other facial expressions. Again, well lit, made by a professional, which is clear. My cover image. So in this case, I don't have any words on my cover image. What I do have is I'm calling out that I'm a speaker. I want to be in front of more and more business people speaking about what we do, teaching this kind of material. And so I've highlighted visually that's part of what I do. And then I just have this guy on top of a mountain, silhouetted. I happen to love the outdoors, climbing mountains and things like that. And so this represents my personality. And it's also kind of a exciting or positive image. And then my headline speaker, I start with guaranteed appointments for CPAs, marketing agencies, and B2B consultants seeking high net worth clients with six-figure budgets. So again, I'm calling out what I do, guaranteed appointments, who I do it for, CPAs, marketing agencies, and B2B consultants, and the pain point that many of them have. They want to be sitting down with high net worth clients with six-figure budgets, and that is a challenge that my client oftentimes has. So those are some examples of some well put together LinkedIn profiles. I wanted to give you a variety today so that hopefully one of these, you're thinking, wow, that resonates with me. I can see how I can incorporate this into my own LinkedIn profile. And I will tell you that the simple act of taking the time and the care in dressing up your LinkedIn profile can by itself create some really spectacular results for you. It triggers the LinkedIn search engine. When you come up in other people's LinkedIn feeds, they see this. And so it can really make the difference between whether you have or don't have that next best business relationship. So with that, I'm going to come back to full screen and bring Ronan back up here and see if you have any additional remarks to talk about with regards to the profile.
Well, I do. LinkedIn is, in this environment, how we're going to be doing a majority of our networking. It's not just an online resume service. So if you're comparing it to how you would normally network in live events, you would go to that live event as someone who is presentable, right? Someone who other people would want to do business with. So your LinkedIn profile has to reflect that. It doesn't mean that it has to follow some bland formula or anything. You can really interject, like we did with Dana, your personality and a lot of other things. You can still be you authentically. You're just dressed up, ready to go. It's like you're in your fancy suit. And I think that's important. It's, we always talk about first impressions, right? I mean, people make things up in the first 6 seconds they see you. So why not have them see the best part of you?
100%.
Right?
100%.
So, and it's not that hard. It was really super easy.
So Josh asked a question, can I address the value of having a paid LinkedIn account? And we do a short, quick hit training on the use of a paid account, specifically a Sales Navigator Pro account. We will be doing that training again next week. And it will be on actually Thursday of next week. So this same day, but a week from now. But having a paid LinkedIn account has numerous benefits, especially if you have a Sales Navigator account. And we will be addressing the power of using that, as well as some, and maybe you actually, Josh, triggered something for me in a good way that we have not addressed about that paid account, which are some of the other benefits of having it, like seeing who has viewed your profile and things of that nature, which can be very telling and very insightful. So we will address some of those other things as well when we do that training. But thank you for the question.
I would only add that it's indispensable to what we do. There's like no way that we could have the results that we have without paying for Sales Navigator and all the, the power that brings to the profile.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. I mean, you have to use it though, right? So having a paid account just for the sake of it's not going to do any good. And I've done that too, where I've had a paid account and not really used it, and it's just like sitting there. So you have to actually use it. Just by having it, that's not going to really help. You have to actually dive in and use it. And so we'll next Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, we'll do a training specifically about that here. And I will go a little deeper next week, given your comment here, Josh. I think it's worth it. And in addition to showing you how we use the search capabilities of it, I'll show you some of the other kind of tricks and techniques that are a part of that.
Awesome. Well, great. All right. Well, now it's time to go out and get it done.
Yeah, in the heat. Let's go out and get it done in the heat.
Yep. Thank God it's only for a season.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, we will be back tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you, Brian. And I guess it's time to go to work.
Let's do it. All right, man. Have a great day, everybody.